integrity, the alignment. Brett's going to go in some of the design before we get started into the setup portion of the program, so you get an understanding on how certain designs work for you and where their place is. And then we'll go through setup, where we actually show you from beginning to end where we should be setting each and every pass and the reasons why. And then we've got tooling maintenance at the end, and then Brett will wrap it up with finite element analysis that he has at the end of the program, give you a little insight on that. I'll let him kind of give a couple of views on some of that he has and a little bit of his experience before we kick the program off.
Well, it's like Robert said, you know, we've been doing this quite a long time. I started at Rollcraft in 1978. I was hired as a grinder. I was a machinist for 10 years, and I did a lot of the tooling inspection during that time. And the patterns that I saw coming in constantly from all the different companies, I was able to see what was going on. And once I got into engineering, I was able to tell how that pattern got developed in the tooling, if it was set up correctly. And if you inspect the tooling close enough, you can tell exactly how it's used. You can tell if a roll's been cocked, things like that. So that's just something that if you do have a roll inspection program in place, you should be able to tell if that tooling was used correctly the way it's supposed to. It's designed to be run a certain way. You know, when a designer has a set of tooling that he's making, there's always a pattern and a use for every stand on that mill. And you got to make sure that you're setting them up the way they're designed to get the optimum wear out of the tooling and the best result on the mill.
Well, Brett goes back some 30 plus years, as he said, at Rollcraft. I started my 39th year in the industry. I've been with Rollcraft full-time for over 21 years. Probably the smallest tube I've worked on is an 1/8" OD with 4,000 thick and material thickness. Probably the largest I've worked on is maybe like 87 inches in diameter, 2 inches thick. So kind of a wide spread that you see out there. Sometimes Brett and I got introduced as tube and pipe mill experts. We really don't like that name. Expert means what? We know everything. We don't know everything, gentlemen. And ladies, we have a lot to offer, though. The things that we present here at the program are things that do and can work. So we kind of leave the theory out of it and work with the nuts and bolts that everybody has to do. I know we probably got quite a few people here that there's a wide variety of experience as far as positions, and what we'd like to do is kind of get a feel out there in the audience. So I'm going to pass the microphone around where we can kind of have everybody say your name, tell us what company you're